Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to your market update. Just wanted to talk about what happened Monday and how things are looking to pan out for the rest of the week. Obviously, a pretty shaky market as we headed into the new trading week. I think for the most part, growth stocks such as Cloudflare or Datadog, S&P 500 index, they all had somewhat of a flat day, but maybe some assets had a slight up day. You could kind of see the S&P 500 index closed basically as a hammer or a doji right there, right near the bottom. But the interesting part about that was this little pocket of consolidation before we broke down. We had that consolidation again right there, broke up, came back down inside. And then Friday, we had this big sell pressure because of the Jackson Hole meeting. And then now, as we head into the Monday session, we are still unable to reclaim this key level, which is the 4,080 point level. Now, how does that impact crypto markets? Well, I think crypto markets definitely got a little bit too oversold headed into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially I think on the Sunday, evening session, right? As the new weekly was going to open, the markets broke down, headed into close to the new weekly candle, and then we start to rip up and basically squeeze out a bunch of the shorts and sellers that got trapped down here. And what this profile will show you right here is that as the markets came up towards these highs, all this liquidation data that's stacking up, that is short liquidation data. That means that as prices came into this high around 20,350, 20,400, right? So just around this wick right here, it seems like that was basically driven by a lot of people who are effectively trying to keep shorting on the way up, and they probably got squeezed out of the market or they got liquidated. And so now what we see happening in the market is Bitcoin, the perpetual contract right there, is getting a little bit aggressive to the long side and trying to bid this pocket of 20,000 level. While Bitcoin spot, as you can see, the CBD is trending down with the price. So as futures are getting a bit aggressive, spot is actually selling and the price is not really budging. So that tells me then this local area right here, if we start seeing a breakdown from here back inside 20,000, I expect us to visit the weekly open pretty much by the end of this week. So I know the week just started just yesterday, but come say, Wednesday and Thursday, we could easily break back down towards 19,500 and maybe even lower. Now, obviously, all this has been very dependent on how the stock market does, right? So if we see a massive movement in the stock market to the upside, well, of course, it's going to drag up Bitcoin, drag up Ethereum and some of these altcoins with it. But for now, I think in terms of just asset correlations, as well as which asset is doing well, which is not, which is showing strength, which is not, I think Bitcoin is probably one of the weaker looking assets. Obviously, you guys know very well, I've been trading on BitGet for the past few months. I like it a lot. And you can earn a lot of rewards for the volume that you generate on BitGet. So that's been incredibly nice and a real pleasure to sort of work on this exchange and help them grow. You guys can still sign up if you're watching this video right now. They have pools for 300,000 BGB tokens, which is their native exchange token. They have all these different rewards that they give you just for signing up to the exchange. So make sure you all give it a shot. Again, it's a bear market. Try to get your money from the exchanges wherever you can, especially good exchanges like BitGet, which are, actually like rewarding you for your loyalty. Okay. I've been trading here for a while. So like I said, I like the exchange quite a bit. Okay. Going back to the market, right? One thing I can tell you right now is that this key level right here, 20,360, as long as we maintain below this level, I think we can test back towards 20,000 flat again. After that, I don't know, right? The market could do something like this, retest, and then start ripping up towards the next key resistance point, which is $20,700. If y'all remember, the importance of 20,700 dates back all the way till the middle of July. That was held right there, and held right there. We only swept that just now. So if the market here stays above 20, right, and we don't get shot back down, it is possible that we rip back up towards $20,700, which is way the heck up here. I'm short in the market and my stops are above these local highs. So obviously, I would like for the market to start, breaking down from here. That's obviously in my benefit. But I'm also aware of the fact that, if the market does start rejecting this level right here and it starts pushing up from here, I may have to start closing out my shorts and then consider getting long from here up till $20,360 and maybe all the way up to $20,700. Now, what I think is happening on the daily and the weekly, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or other altcoins, is that I think, as I showed you on this trading data right here, this heat map data, right, or the liquidation data rather, this data that's short liquidations, add to that the Bitcoin futures contract that's been, aggressively being pushed up, with the spot showing me relative weakness, is telling me that today's candle right here is probably built off a lot of, just short squeeze money. It's not real spot buying activity. And it's not real players coming into the market ready to drive prices up. It's just the fact that these 2 or 3 days were aggressively oversold. And now people just got squeezed out of the market for probably, high leverage shorts. Now compare that to, say, ETH and other altcoins. I think similar things are happening. If you look across the board, right, a lot of these are green on the day. I mean, almost the entire market is green today. SNX is up 17%. Ethereum is up almost, 8 or 9%. Atom, which has been one of the stronger assets, is up about, 6.5, 7%. But guess what? A lot of these assets are starting to turn their local momentum. For example, Atom, which has held this local uptrend, this trend line right here since July and August, finally broke it and is now rejecting this level, right? If it starts rejecting this level, look for a breakdown on Atom towards maybe $8 or $9 somewhere down here, where we had multiple areas of confluence where price action came here, either, had a deviation down there, pulled back, retested support, took off, again, support, retest, and took off. That means that this is the most critical point of support around, $8 or $9 right here. Okay, so just keep that in mind for a short opportunity from here to here, or from a long opportunity from here as a bounce back up, whether it's going to go up higher or whether it comes back, towards $10. I don't know. Now, Ethereum, very similar, right? If you look at ETH, it banged right into this 1550 level. 1550 is also a key level because we go to, all right, so let's go to a different chart, say 8-hour chart. Okay, you can see right here, I guess it's more like 1560. Okay, but you can see right here that, clean rejections off these double bottom, tweezer bottom wicks, plus multiple wicks unable to close below this level. Price bounces up, goes all the way to about 1725, and then aggressively sells off. So that means that this area right here around 1550, 1560 is probably going to be somewhat of a strong resistance. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to drag this down here as a new weekly, right? Because this is where the new weekly started for ETH. So let's just change that real quick so we know that this is a key level that we'll be watching. August 28th, weekly open. So below that, once we start, breaking back inside a weekly open right there, I probably say the next big target is around $1,250, $1,300 right here. And that was the previous point of resistance, push on through, right? So I would say market will probably gravitate back towards this key level. From here, again, similar to Atom, I don't know what happens. Do we go back up here and push higher? Or do we just kind of, do this, and then fizzle and break down? I think that's going to depend on how the stock market side of things look, whether they're extremely weak or extremely strong. We're just going to have to be patient. But as of right now, I closed out of my longs at a loss last week, or I guess it wasn't last week. It was just this weekend. And now I'm just sitting tight in some small position small position shorts, excuse me. And I'm just being patient now. I'm not going to size up until I see that the market is ready to break down. And then finally, I just want to check out, a weekly and a monthly chart, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So simply put, right, on a weekly basis, the market is clearly showing you that, hey, something is wrong. Over the last 2 weeks, these two candles, huge bearish engulfing, following that another big bearish candle with basically no wick at the bottom. When you have wickless candles at the bottom like that close right near the lows, that means that there's very strong selling pressure. Of course, you're saying, you're now seeing that there's a rebound of this green weekly, but this weekly is not closed. In fact, it just opened yesterday. So if this weekly, right, is going to be working off the last 2 weeks, one could sort of surmise from this that this green weekly is probably going to turn red or close somewhere near the lows down here. And like I said, keep in mind those levels that I mapped out earlier, which is if you see a breakdown, break back inside the weekly open, which is around 1425. If we see the breakdown, I'd probably say somewhere around, $1,250, $1,300 is the next big target. Okay. Other than that, I think other assets that look pretty darn weak to me still, like Solana looks weak to me. I think AVAX, like I said, it had some bad news come out. AVAX is still looking weak to me. These are the assets that if you're thinking about shorting, like you're getting some pretty darn good opportunities on a bounce back candle like today. Okay. And then just last but not least, like the monthly charts, right? If we start going on to the monthly, these are some very, very ugly looking monthlies, right? We start mapping out monthlies. The monthly that we had in June, the high was taken out with this current month's wick, and then we sold off aggressively. We got 2 more days left in the current monthly candle. Same thing with BTC. We go to the monthly candle on BTC, and that is a pretty darn looking ugly monthly candle that we have going on right now, sweeping the high of July right there, and then breaking back down, right? So whether you look at, Solana on a monthly basis, again, that's a big bearish engulfing on Solana. Whether you look at Ethereum, that looks like at minimum a candle that's, a gravestone doji or a rejection doji style candle up here. Either way, it looks ugly, right? Rune, Polkadot, One Harmony, a lot of these assets near protocol that they all have very, very ugly printed candles that you just want to be extremely cautious about given how bad the current month looks. Because if this current month looks like this, possible that the following month may also be a big bearish candle like that or something like this. Okay. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. And, again, comparing that to the S&P 500 monthly, as you can see, also not looking good. And finally, one of the last charts that I want to show y'all is Apple. Clearly, Apple has been the biggest market cap leader in the stock market side. And this is how Apple's monthly looks right now. Even if you don't know technical analysis that much, you know very well that, it doesn't take a genius to understand that a lot of selling happened, pretty much closer to the end of the month, and it's looking pretty darn ugly. So anyway, we're just going to walk into the end of the month with a lot of caution, being very careful with our positions, not getting too overweight, on the short side, expecting instantaneous drops. But nonetheless, looking at the way the monthlies are about to close, it is probably leaning towards the fact that either you want to close out of your longs, or you want to hedge short, or you want to go net short, or you want to be flat in cash. Again, not investment advice, just, my thoughts on the market. Okay. And then heat map data wise, like I'm not seeing anything else that's really special. Yes, things look decent at these local, highs right here where price might be supported to push up a little bit higher, but I'm not super concerned that it's going to make a massive move unless, like I said, unless the stock market makes a big move, tomorrow or by the end of this week. I'm not that worried. Okay. So yeah, anyway, that's really all I have. Again, make sure y'all check out BitGet. Pretty fantastic exchange. I think you guys will like it a lot. Explore it. They also have these demo futures trading accounts where you can just test out the exchange itself without having to put on any money and give it a shot. They also have high yield paying accounts where you can deposit either stable coins or altcoins where you can get some high APYs. So again, do your own research, okay? Not investment advice. Until then, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just check out my Twitter feed. Oh yeah, Gbtc discount. I just want to talk about this. Andrew Kang mentioned, Gbtc discount has been around for like almost 2 or 3 years now. It's getting worse and worse at a pretty significant discount over the last 2 years or so. Holdings currently are priced at $13,400. That is what the discount is factoring in, and that is very, very ugly. Okay. Let me see here. This is also cool. Probability of ETH price post-merge, which is around 30th of September. The contracts as per options. You could see that a lot of people are actually betting on, anywhere between $1,250 and $1,500. And then maybe, $1,500 to $1,750. And on the lower end, $1,000 and $1,250. So majority of the price action, they're expecting somewhere in this, $500-$700 range right here. Okay. But very, very few people are expecting massive upside. And also, technically fewer people are also expecting, massive downside too. So I think probabilities are decently high. Like by the time mid-September, the ETH merge rolls around, prices are somewhere in this range right here. Okay. So anyway, that's really about it. Y'all take care. Good luck. And I'll catch up with you soon. Okay. Cheers.